Floyd Mayweather quit boxing with a perfect record of 50-0 as a pro. The legendary 5-weight world champion proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was the best boxer of his time by beating almost every other title holder who was important at the time. Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez were both beaten easily, and a young Canelo Alvarez couldn't even come close to winning. His last fight was in 2015, but he still made money after that. Beating Conor McGregor in 2017 brought his total to 50, and a show against Logan Paul earlier in the year made him a lot of money. The YouTuber fought well, but he didn't win. On the other hand, 3 fighters pushed Mayweather over 12 rounds and almost ended his streak of never losing. In the end, none of them were able to beat the pound-for-pound champion, but these were by far the toughest fights of his legendary career. Jose Luis Castillo. On April 20th, 2002, when they first met, Castillo gave Mayweather all he could handle. All 3 judges gave the first 4 rounds to the American, but then the Mexican pulled him into an unexpected fight and seemed to turn the fight in his favor. Young Floyd had a hard time dealing with Castillo's smart pressure as he cut off the ring and hit Floyd in the body. Castillo finished the fight well, and many people thought that was enough for him to keep his WBC lightweight title. However, the judges didn't agree. Harold Lederman, HBO's unofficial judge, gave the fight to Castillo with a score of 115-111, but the official scores were 116-111, 115-111, and 115-111, all in Mayweather's favor. The crowd booed when the decision was made public, which led to a rematch. Floyd had hurt his shoulder in the first fight, so he had surgery before the second fight. 8 months later, in his next fight, Mayweather made up for what people thought was a problem by boxing smartly and carefully. It was clear that Floyd would win the rematch, which he did with scores of 116-113, 115-113, and 115-113. Mayweather won the fight that made him the biggest boxing star on May 5th, 2007. De La Hoya, a Mexican-American icon, did not give up this title easily though. Mayweather's first fight was at super welterweight, which is his maximum weight. Oscar made good use of his size advantage by weighing 160 pounds on fight night, while his opponent only weighed 150 pounds. Early on, when De La Hoya had Mayweather up against the ropes, he pressed on him and tried to hit him in the body. He had some success, but Mayweather was sometimes able to get away. In the middle rounds, when the champion was getting tired, Money fought back. After making it through the rough first few rounds, Mayweather won the fight, but only just. 2 judges gave the fight to Floyd by scores of 116-112 and 115-113, while the other judge gave it to De La Hoya by a score of 115-113. This was the only fight in Mayweather's whole career where a judge didn't give him the win. As Mayweather's career was coming to an end, he was forced into one last head-to-head fight.
Clinic against arguably the most popular fighter, not arguably, the most popular fighter in the world. Trying to hunt him down. Makes the mistake again of entering the kill zone without throwing. And he pays it. See him countering him. Oscar trying to do what he can. The wide shots. Well, they're standing and cheering. They loved it. It was gritty.
On May 3rd, 2014, he fought the tough Argentinian Marcos Maidana. Maidana had just beaten Floyd's student Adrian Broner in a brutal fight, which was Broner's first loss as a pro. Maidana was a big underdog because Amir Khan had already beaten him, but he took the lead from the start. He went against Mayweather in an unusual, rough way and pushed him up against the ropes. Mayweather had to box smartly to land his counter punches, and he did just enough to win again. 2 judges gave the fight to Mayweather by scores of 117-111 and 116-112, and the other judge had it tied at 114-114.
Apologized to Mayweather during their fight. Maidana coming with a punch, short right uppercut on the inside.
So close.
And now Mayweather firing back with the left hook and the right, but there's a...
Donald Trump was in the audience and tweeted from his now suspended account that he thought the decision was a disgrace and that the fight was fixed, but he is not known to be the most trustworthy when making these kinds of claims. CompuBox said that Mayweather was hit more than he had been hit in any of his 38 previous fights. They said that Marcos was successful with 221 of his 858 punches, while Floyd was successful with 230 of his 426. Like when he fought Castillo Canelo 12 years ago, Mayweather agreed to a rematch right away and won the second fight convincingly to end the argument. Even though these fights were close, there is a champion from Thailand who beat Floyd Mayweather's record of 50-0. Hang Minniothan, a former WBC world champion in the sport's smallest weight class, went 51-0 in 2018. He then won 3 more fights to make his record 54-0. At this point, in June 2020, Minniothan said he was going to retire, but he changed his mind and had to pay for it. In November of 2020, the Thai went after Panya Pradapsri again, but instead of making it 55-0, he lost by a close unanimous decision and went from 54-1 to 54-1. Minniothan beat Jinuat Rienpit in a comeback fight a year after that fight to get ready for the rematch with Pradapsri. At age 36, he lost again to the same man, and this time, everyone agreed that he had lost. When Mayweather quit boxing in 2017 with a perfect record of 50-0, many people pointed out that he had done better than Rocky Marciano, who was a famous heavyweight champion. Marciano left the sport with a record of 49-0 in 1955, and it took 62 years for a champion to beat that record as they left the sport. Now that Minniothan has lost twice, it might take a while for someone to beat Floyd and retire undefeated with a better record. At one point, it seemed like Mayweather was hearing about Minniothan's accomplishments. Mayweather told Club Shay Shay, "When the minimum weight was 54-0, I'm 50-0 for a reason." Right now, there's a fighter in Asia with a 54-0 record, and people are calling him the new TBE because he's about to retire. Now that his record hasn't changed, Mayweather can rest easy. Who can do better than Mayweather's record of 50-0? Tyson Fury could stay unbeaten and get to 50 wins, but with a record of 33-0-1, Fury would need to do a lot more. Dmitry Bivol is too far behind at 21-0. He, like Mayweather, has beaten Canelo, but he is too far behind. Likewise, so is Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue. They have records of 20-0 and 24-0. Since his car accidents, it doesn't look like 32-year-old Errol Spence Jr. will get to 28-0. Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, is only 25 years old and has a 19-0 record. Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, two of Mayweather's proteges, pose a bigger threat to his perfect record of 50-0. At age 28, Davis is 28-0. Haney, on the other hand, is 29-0 at 24. Ray Vargas is 32 years old and has a record of 36-0 right now. This weekend, the Mexican can go 37-0. There is enough time, but it is much harder to stay unbeaten at the lower weights as your career goes on. Jamie Munguia is Mayweather's biggest problem right now if he wants to keep his record. Munguia gives Golden Boy Promotions a second choice, even though he has been criticized for the level of his opponents. Mayweather should be worried. Well, that's all for today. Let us know below who you believe could break Mayweather's record.